So you are preparing for your interview and you are focusing on answering the question. What are you supposed to answer? What the recruiters want from it? What if I told you that actually the way that you ask questions can be something that will make a difference if you receive the offer or not? I'm going to explain how you can ask good questions for you to gather information for yourself and to showcase your skills and impress the interviewer. This is for high level seniors, candidates that want to really impress the recruiters and interviewers. So pay attention because this is going to be a very good one. Hey, I'm Julia. I'm a tech recruiter that works for Amazon and Silicon Valley startups, and I'm here to tell you everything that the recruiters don't tell you. If you are participating in a very competitive process and you want to truly stand out from other candidates, you have to do the things that people are not doing and the majority of people are not even aware of. In jobs that require more intellectual level, you have other candidates that might have similar education and similar experiences and background. So the way that you can stand out is not only by answering the questions on the interview, which everyone is going to be doing and everyone is focusing on doing. Something that you can do to really impress your interviewer and recruiter is to ask good questions. And I'm gonna tell you why asking questions and good ones are very important. They are very important for multiple reasons. First of all, the main goal of asking questions is to gather information. So of course, when you are in a process, the company and the recruiter are gathering information about you. They want to know about you. But you cannot consider that a hiring process is just one-side equation, that you're just being evaluated by the company and that you have no voice or you have no choice on that. You are actively choosing the companies that you're working with and your career path. So your career path and the coherence of what makes your journey is very important. So you have to think about it before making career decisions. You will make sure that you have enough information to make your decision as a candidate. Does this company really fits me? Am I going to be happy? And is this challenge going to be interesting for me enough? Am I going to grow and learn in this opportunity? So these are the things that you might be aware of when you're really interested in growing your career and stepping up on your professional experience. So the other reason why the questions are important is that they can show how you think. So the recruiter and the interviewer, it's 100% of the time of the interview trying to understand you and how you think, how you solve problems, and how you act as a professional in the work environment. When you ask good questions, you're adding up to this, you're adding more information for them. They can also understand a little bit more about your skills and abilities and how you are a very complex and smart and intelligent human being just by your questions. Also, the questions are a very subtle way that you can communicate that you research about the company, that you are interested in the role, and you are causing a very good impression. So you are doing three things at the same time. You are doing everything with your questions. That's why I cannot stress enough. Always, always, always ask questions. It's very important and it creates a good impression. So you have no reason not to do it. Don't think like, oh, I'm disturbing the interviewer. It's actually the opposite. The recruiters and the interviewers are there to answer your questions. So they need to provide the information that you want to know. Their job is to do it. Their job is to answer your questions and to make everything clear for you. So don't think that you are bothering them by asking questions. Really, please do ask questions and use your time on the interview. Because if you consider that you are going to make a career move and then this is going to affect your whole life and you have only like a couple hours during a hiring process to assess and make a decision, it's actually very little time for you to make a decision that is going to impact your life and is going to impact your career for the long term, and it might even impact your health and your relationships. So it's a very important decision. Please take your time and ask the question. So let's start with the basics. you have to know what it is that you want to know. I'm going to share a few topics that will be important for you to know to make a decision as a candidate. So you can make a checklist for the next time you are going to an interview. So the basic questions that you can ask, they are involved with the type of job that you're performing. Basically, the little aspects of the work that are going to help you understand what do I have to do, what are my responsibilities, who I'm going to work with, and everything. So all the basics for you to understand what is it the position about, what is the opportunity about. The interviewer are probably going to try to cover up all of this for you before, but prepare your questions in advance and know exactly what it is that is important for you to know. So basically in this first part, you want to ask about the job description. So what is it expected from you to perform in this job? So what is the job description? What is the main activity? What are the requirements and the tools and the things that are involved in the job? So only you can know that because you are the expert on what you do. So you are the one that knows exactly what are the things that are good and bad in your specific field. If you have to work with a tool on a daily basis, for example, a video call tool, and then the company uses a video call tool that is terrible, that you tested before, and it's always like ending the calls in the middle, and then it makes a huge mess. You want to confirm even those little details of the tools that you're going to use. This will make either your job, your day-to-day harder or smoother. It's important to confirm. So you can go on the deep details of the job. So what is it expected? What is the job? What is the requirements? And what are the tools and the things that are related to your job? Other thing that you want to understand is the environment. And this is very important. So you want to understand who you're going to work with. So the team, the management, the style of the management, the culture, and the environment overall if you have to go to an office. Even if it's like a remote position, you want to understand how is it like the communication going, what is the remotest space that you're actually going. The culture, it's very, very important. And the manager style, it's very important for your well-being. So imagine if you are working with a bad manager that always constantly think that you're doing things wrong and never appreciate your work, and they are never asked saying thank you for anything that you do, you're going to always end up your day feeling miserable, feeling like shit. So you want to get to know your manager. You want to get to know what is their management style. You want to get to know your colleagues. Ask them what is their experience, how is it like to work in the company. You want to ask about the culture. What are the things that the people value and how people make decisions there? Does that make sense to you? Is it aligned to how you think and how you make decisions? And how is it like the environment? So people communicate, people overwork, and this is something you can get a sense of. If someone is overworked, they are probably going to look overworked. So you're going to know like, yeah, this company, this job is very demanding. So probably this is going to be me in a couple months, looking this overworked, looking stressed. You want to assess this to know. It doesn't mean that you're going to join a fairy tale whenever you join a job opportunity. It's just that you want to know this before making your decision. So if you make your decision more conscious and more aware of what is up, what is coming, you're going to be more confident in your decision. So regardless, if you see, okay, they're overworked, but these other aspects of the job are going to compensate that. I'm going to learn a lot, I'm going to grow, I'm going to receive a good salary, I'm going to have good benefits, and I'm going to have an overall good growth in this company, in this opportunity. So you can balance, you can think of in a more conscious way and make your decision. Other things that you want to confirm is the bureaucracy of the job. So everything about the contract. How many hours do you have to work? Is it full-time, part-time? What is the type of contract? How are your performances going to be evaluated? And this relates to your compensation and salary, and what are the benefits if you have like health insurance, for example, or retirement plans. What are the aspects about vacation and time off? If you get sick, what happens? When can you take vacation? For how long? Companies have all the little details on those topics that are very important to confirm and for you to make sure that it fits you and your life. So for example, if you're planning to grow your family, does the company offers paternal or maternal leave? What is it like if a children or a loved one gets sick? So it's important for you to confirm all of the little details and aspects of this opportunity. We are going to the second part of the questions that are a little bit more complex questions and information that you want to gather from this opportunity. So in this part, you're trying to understand how do you fit and create value in the company. So you want to understand the overall company situation and goals. Imagine that you are about to enter a ship, and whatever happens in the sea with the ship, you are inside the ship and you cannot leave. So you want to make sure that this ship is going to succeed and you are succeeding together. The first thing is, do you really understand the business of the company, how they create value and how they profit from it? So what is the core business? What is the core offer? How they sell their product or their service, and where they are going. What is this overall situation of the market? Is the ship flowing in good waters, or they are about to face a big wave, you know? So you want to prepare yourself. Also, in terms of understanding the business, you can do this research by yourself, but you can also ask for the people in the company. What is the financial situation of the company? It involves also the market and the industry that this company works, where the company fits inside of the industry and inside of the whole market. Clients are happy, company is growing or is thriving or is stable or is decreasing. What is going on with the financial state? You want to gather this information from the interviewer, but also from outside. So you can Google it, you can look for other sources. Also want to understand the overall company goals and your team goals, because they can be very different. Where the company is going and how your team fits on it. And on an individual level, you also understand how do you fit on the team and on the company. So what is your unique value? Your job is important for this company system to work. And this is a very insightful information that if you can get this information, it's going to help you also sell yourself during the interview. So if you can really understand the value that the company sees in your job and what you can offer them, you will be able to communicate this better on your answer to the questions of the interview, and you'll be able to sell your professional skills better. So if you really truly understand what is key here for your team, for the company, you will be able to showcase the value that you bring. And also you want to confirm all the growth opportunities. If there's any opportunity for you to grow in the company, if the company reinforces or rewards learning, and if they have a program for you to learn and to grow in the company, how is it like the organizational chart? Are there any progressions? So if you think about your career in an overall perspective, you want to know more about how you're really going to grow in this company. This is the cherry on top. So if you really want to impress, these are my key tips. The most impressive questions that I've seen candidates asking are the ones that are related to the business itself. So they are candidates that really understood the deep details of the business, and they could relate that with their job and with the company overall goals and direction. So they could analyze and collect different information from different sources and make up this question. So when you are asking questions, that's what you're showing to your interviewer and your recruiter. So I will share a little bit of the type of question I'm referring to when I say complex question. You already have the information about the business, the company goals, the team goals, the growth, the market, the financial situation, all of the aspects about the culture and the team and the management style. So together, when you gather all of this information, you can definitely make complex questions. So you can say something like, considering this company goal, how do you plan the overall growth or scalability of the company? So for example, the company is forecasting growth for the next 6 months. So in the 6 months, 5 teams are going to grow in the company, how they organize this, how they plan to sell more, how they plan to hire these people, how they plan to organize the systems and the documents of the company to grow in 6 months, for example. So you can analyze and get this information. So this is a very complex question that the CEOs and the head of the companies are thinking about. So you want to ask questions like this. You can ask something like, considering the current market situation, how do you forecast the growth or the sales in the future? So in this question, you are seeing that you understand the company, you understand the market, and that you are worried about what is coming. So you are foreseeing things coming. So you are on top of the trends, you're on top of the news, you know what is going on, and you want to know how the CEOs, how the leadership is preparing for that, and how you in the ship is going to fit on all that. So it really shows the complexity of the way you think. So after this video, you have a full checklist of the things that you can ask for your next interview. So if the tips were useful to you, leave a comment, a like, and subscribe for more.